AZ104 course content is changed. So in case you are preparing for AZ104 certification exam, or maybe you have already scheduled the exam in the coming days, in both the cases, this is a very important video for you. Hello and welcome back to the Tech Blackboard. In today's video, I will tell you all that you need to know about the changes that are due on 27th October 2022 in the AZ104 exam. How does that impact you? Should you continue with the exam or should you reschedule the exam? How should you prepare for the new changes? And towards the end of the video, I will also share Microsoft documentation where you can read all about these changes. All these questions will be answered in next few minutes. So stick around and watch the video very carefully so that your exam fee of $165 is not wasted. So are there any changes on the major skill measure? Let's check it out and compare them line by line. Now here on this slide, friends, you can see that I have compared the current setup with that of the changes that are coming after 27th October 2022. So let's read each skill measure one by one and compare them simultaneously. Starting with the first one, we have manage Azure identities and governance, which is 15 to 20%. You can see that this is exactly the same after the changes as well. Then we have implement and manage storage, which again is 15 to 20%, and this one is also kept the same after the changes on 27th October. Then thirdly, we have deploy and manage Azure compute resources, which is 20 to 25%, and this is also the same here. You can read here. It is also 20 to 25. And then coming to the fourth skill measure, we have configure and manage virtual networking, which is 20 to 25%. And after the changes, it is still kept the same. Lastly, we have monitor and maintain Azure resources, which is currently 10 to 15%, and the same is kept after the changes as well. So this means there is no change on the skill measured level. So let's drill this down a little bit more and understand the changes. So let's begin with the change log, which is a kind of summary of all the changes, and then we will understand each change with complete detail. So here it comes. You can see the change log here, and there are three sections that are going to be changed on 27th October 2022. The first one is audience profile. After that, we have manage Azure AD objects, and the third one is create and configure containers. And it's very important that you note that all the changes are minor. So one thing, you are already sure that none of the changes is major, but changes are there and you must know them. A small miss in preparation can cost you $165. So let's continue and see the changes in more detail. As we saw in the last slide, the first section that is undergoing change is audience profile. So let's first start understanding what is the existing or the current audience profile for AZ104. And this one here says that the candidates for this exam should have a subject matter expertise in implementing, managing and monitoring an organization's Microsoft Azure environment, including virtual networks, storage, compute, identity, security and governance. Further, it says an Azure Administrator often serves as a part of a larger team dedicated to implementing an organization's cloud infrastructure. Azure administrators also coordinate with other roles to deliver Azure networking, security, database, application development, and DevOps solution. Lastly, it says that the candidates for this exam should be familiar with operating systems, networking, servers, and virtualization. Further, it says, in addition, professionals in this role should have experience using PowerShell, Azure CLI, the Azure portal, and the Azure Resource Manager templates, which are also known as ARM templates. Now let me compare this with the changes that are upcoming after 27th October 2022. Here you can see the entire profile is still the same, but there is a slight change towards the end. And that change I have marked here in the blue color towards the end. And you can see that Microsoft has added some of the information just after the ARM templates. So the complete line now becomes that in addition, professionals in this role should have experience using PowerShell, Azure CLI, the Azure portal, Azure Resource Manager templates, and Microsoft Azure Active Directory, Azure AD, and part of Microsoft Entra. So please note that this blue and bold line is now added in the audience profile. The next section which is undergoing changes is Manage Azure AD Objects. Now let's first check out the existing detail on this section. Here you can see that this section is Manage Azure Identities and Governance, which holds 15 to 20%. Here you can see the subsections of it. We have Manage Azure Active Directory, Azure AD Objects, and that consists create users and group, manage licenses in Azure AD, create administrative units, manage user and group properties, manage device settings and device identity, perform bulk uploads, manage guest accounts, and lastly we have configure self-service password reset. And now here comes the changes after 27th October 2022, and you can see everything is same in the new section as well. There is one small change which you can note in this blue bold section. So basically Microsoft has now renamed this section from Manage Azure Active Directory, Azure AD Objects to just Manage Azure AD Objects. Rest of the subsections are exactly still the same. So in my opinion, this is more of a cosmetic change. Now let's move ahead and understand the final section. So the third and final section which is undergoing change is create and configure containers. And here comes the existing section. We have deploy and manage Azure compute resources, which is 20 to 25 in percentage. And here we can see that we have a section which is called create and configure containers. And then we have configure sizing and scaling for Azure container instances. The second one is configure container groups for Azure container instances. Third one, we have configure storage for Azure Kubernetes service. The fourth one is configure scaling for AKS. And then we have configure network connections for AKS. And then we have upgrade an AKS cluster. Now let's compare this with the changes, and here my friends, in this new section you can see that Microsoft has now added one more subsection which reads as create and configure Azure container apps. So this is the new subsection which is added in create and configure containers. Now let's go to the Microsoft site so that I can show you the documentation where you can read and validate this information directly from Microsoft. Okay, so this is the official Microsoft documentation on exam AZ104, which is Microsoft Azure Administrator. The first section that comes up in this documentation is candidate profile. We just went through candidate profile in our PowerPoint slides, so no need to read this again. But still, my friends, the link for this documentation is available in the description box. In case you want to read and understand once more, you can go through it. Moving on, we have one section which is called this important section, and here you can see that the Microsoft is saying that the English language version of this exam will be updated on October 27th, 2022. Also, you can download the study guide from the tips section here. We will just do that in a while. One more bit of information that Microsoft gives you is that it says that if a localized version of this exam is available, it will be updated approximately 8 weeks after this date. What it means is that in case you are giving this exam in any language other than the English version, then these changes will also be reflected in those languages within the 8 weeks of time. And of course, you can note the passing score is 700. And now let's download the AZ104 study guide. You can click here and this will open a PDF file. Here you can read all the important information about the changes which are coming in the AZ104. And once you will scroll this PDF file, you will reach to a section. You have to keep scrolling. This is the existing setup. You can read the skills measure which are currently present. What are the changes coming? For that, you have to keep scrolling a little bit more, and then you will finally reach to a section which will say, yes, this one, which says future exam skills measured. And here, this is the exact section that I showed you in the presentation just a while back. Here you can see 3 sections are going through changes: audience profile, manage Azure AD objects, and create and configure containers. Once again, all the changes are minor changes, and we just went through all the changes in our slides. So you can read this documentation here, a very good documentation. You can find other resources also in this documentation. For example, in this documentation, you're also given the information how to earn the certification, what are the rules around certification renewal. The other important information given is what is the passing score and what is the information about the exam sandbox. So sandbox is a kind of environment where you can practice as you are learning, and this environment is provided by Microsoft absolutely free, a very good learning resource when it comes to doing the practicals. Now let's check out the resources to prepare for these changes. Well, the first and the foremost resource that I recommend is the online free course from Microsoft itself. Once again, I'm on the same documentation. You scroll down a little bit more and then you will reach to a section which gives you a heading of 2 ways to prepare. And here you can see that Microsoft has curated the entire course on AZ104. Here you will find the most updated course content from none other than Microsoft. Strongly recommend you to go through this course before you jump to any other resource. There are 2 modes for it. One is online and free. The other one is instructor led, but this is a paid option. The second resource, once you have completed Microsoft online course, is a question and answer series from the Tech Blackboard, that is our channel itself. And friends, here we have already covered 190 questions so far with answers and lot of Microsoft documentation so that you can read and understand all the aspects of AZ104. Besides that, you can also get a free PDF file that contains all the 190 questions with answers, and how to get that PDF file, all the information is shared in this very video itself. Not only that, to prepare you even better, I have also curated a series of case studies on AZ104. And there is no denial to the fact that case studies are integral part of AZ104 exam and you just cannot miss them. More and more recent questions are added, and very soon we are going to bring an updated version of question and answer series on AZ104 exam. So in case you are still not subscribed to the channel, please do it right away so that you get the notification of all the updated series on AZ104. Now let me share my thoughts on what should you do. Should you go for the new exam or should you give the exam if you have already scheduled the same? So friends, as you would have already understood that these are not the major changes. So I would not recommend anyone to reschedule the exam if you have already well prepared. I would say go for it. Revise your questions, go through the case studies. Maybe you can take the help of our videos as well, because there is no point waiting for the new changes coming up. But in case you are still preparing and you have not scheduled the exam or your exam is far in the future, then you must consider the changes that are upcoming on 27th October. And friends, in case you are looking for the assistance in preparing other Microsoft certificates, we have entire series of videos to help you with. For example, we have our very popular series on AZ900. We have 135 questions in one video and 191 questions in another video. A total of 326 questions to prepare you on AZ900. Then we have a series on DP900 as well, which contains 80 questions as of now. A new updated version on DP900 is also coming soon. And one more fundamental series we have is AI900. Here you will find 115 questions with answers. So please go and watch these videos in case you are preparing for any of these exam series, or in case you want to help any of your friends, please share this video series with them. And besides the fundamental series that I just showed you, we also have a series on DP203 where until now we have already released 16 parts including a case study. And so far we have covered 196 questions. And also please note the next part, part 17, is coming next week. And friends, one more very important announcement, that similar changes are coming up in Microsoft Azure AZ900 series. So please do not forget to subscribe to the channel and press that bell icon. An important update is coming on AZ900 tomorrow, and I'm sure that you do not want to miss that. I hope that you have well understood the changes coming up in AZ104. Any questions, ask me in the comment section or other social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. You can always email us at connectus@thetechblackboard.com. And friends, in the end, if you like today's video, please do give us a like and share this video with all your family and friends so that they are also aware of the upcoming changes in AZ 104 and AZ 900 and can take a wise decision. Thank you so much for learning with us. I will see you in the next video. Till then, stay fit, keep learning, and thanks for watching.
If this video has added any value in your learning, a like and subscribe is highly appreciated. Share this video in your family and friends to spread and expand their learning. Your comments and feedback give me a chance to interact with you, and I look forward for them. We will meet again in our next video. Till then, stay fit, keep learning, and thanks for watching.